it was kind of like a big brain, like schemed it out a little
I
bit.
mean, Clay says that it wasn't on purpose. I don't really know what the heck happened, but
You kind of went
um,
into it a little bit, but
Yeah,
let's kind of like
so
run it back.
you could start it off, Clay, because you kind of finessed here.
this was a finesse without even meaning to finesse here. So I won champs on denial with replays attached and JCap, and then we had a couple decent placings, like a second, top 8, top 6 at X Games. They weren't so good after champs. So at the time, Faze, which was ZooMaa, Slasher, Hook, and who's your fourth? Enable. Sorry.
Enable.
Yeah. Were on Faze, and they were like the second best team in the time that we started struggling after champs. And so after X Games, they got second again. We got like top 6 or something. I decided, I was like, hey, me and Attach are going to go find 2. We talked to JCap and replays. We're like, hey, we're not going to team with you guys anymore. They were fine with it. So me and Attach were like, let's go find 2. And our initial 2 was ZooMaa and Enable. And we hit them up, and we're like, hey, you guys want a team? And they're like, no, we really like our team. We really like teaming with Hook and Slasher. And so I was like, all right, well, if they don't want a team, maybe I'll hit up the other 2. So I went and hit up Hook and Slasher, and I was like, hey, do you 2 want a team? And I remember they like considered it. Like Hook was like 15 at the time, and Denial was offering salary. Like it wasn't much. It was like $1,000 a month, maybe like $750 or something. It wasn't much. But as a 15-year-old, I was like, hey man, like you're not making any salary right now. If you start making money now as like a kid in high school, you're gonna be, well off when you graduate and all this stuff. And it got him to consider it. And then ZooMaa and Enable caught wind that Hook and Slasher were considering joining us. And so ZooMaa and Enable were like, well, screw you guys. We were gonna hold out for you guys, but if you guys are even considering team with them, like we're gonna just go team with them. So then instead of them coming to denial, what actually happened was they dropped Hook and Slasher and picked me and Attach up on Faze. And so it was kind of like a big brain, like schemed it out a little bit, like finessed it, but it wasn't on purpose. I mean, I genuinely was like, these are my first 2. They don't want a team, so go to 3 and 4. And then it just so happened that the 3 and 4 consideration made 1 and 4 want a team with us, or 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, Clay says that it wasn't on purpose. I don't really know what the heck happened, but all I know is we were gonna stay together. At least for me, like we had just placed top 2, like 2 events in a row. So like I just didn't want to change. I thought we were a good team, so I thought we could just stick it out. But when you find out that your teammates are having doubts or are thinking about changing, I think me and Enable were kind of just like screw it, like let's do it. And obviously, I think Clay and Dylan wanted a team with us from the get-go. So we ended up doing that, and we hit it off like right from the start. As a team, we were just in game and out of game. It just felt perfect. Like I definitely thought that roster fit that game perfectly, and we got along really well. And I definitely think at the end of AW, we were the best team for sure.
As soon as we started teaming, we went to UMG Dallas, where I think our map count it's like 25 and 2 or 24 and 2 or something. I just remember we won the tournament, and we only dropped 2 maps the whole tournament, and it was just like accomplishing like the dream tournament in Call of Duty is impossible. It's never been done before, where you win a tournament without dropping a single map. And I think that one right there is in the top 2 or top 3. Top 2 if you don't count regional tournaments, like qualifier tournaments, but top 3 if you do, of like best map count for a tournament win. And so that was like a super special one. Like never ever feeling in danger of losing a tournament is like one of the best feelings. Like we were never on an elimination map. We'd lost 1 map in 2 separate series, but there was never like a 2-2 or a 1-2 or anything like that. Like we just cruised the whole time, demolishing everyone. And then we get to finals, and we 3-0'd Optic in the finals when they were unbeatable. And that one was pretty hype. I actually still have a picture of that win up on my wall, like a poster up on my wall.
Same.
And that one was special.
Yeah. So UMG Dallas was our first event together, and that event was crazy just because what Clay was saying. I felt like that was probably the easiest event win I've ever got in my career. Like it felt like it was just super smooth sailing. Like we never felt like we were going to lose. Like we always had the upper hand. And I just remember, like, even in game, like, we were just frying. Like, the game never felt hard. Like, it never felt like we were fighting from behind. So that event was definitely a weird feeling. That's when I knew that we had something special with our team, and that as long as we kept grinding and kept practicing, we'd be, you know, a top team for the rest of the
15
year.
seconds left in, and Optic needs to go for two two-point plays. Formal's gonna die, and that looks as if it's gonna be that. Common last man up. Faze are gonna take the UMG Dallas Grand Final 3-0 in the first best of 5. And Enable's gonna let you know about it.
Getting hyped. Faze Clan only dropping 2 maps throughout the entire weekend. Honestly, just looking dominant, Benson. This team change absolutely paying off for Faze.
You know, in the next tournament, we went and we're down 1-3 in a best of 7 finals to Optic, and then came back 3 maps straight and beat them 4-3. That was pretty special over in Europe at Gfinity. And then there's the classic season 3 playoffs where we came from losers, made a crazy run where we like reverse swept Epsilon in a best of 7.
Looking hot off the break. Swanee going to fall to the bow shots of ZooMaa. Another player dropping 2 versus 4. FaZe are absolutely rolling right now as they're looking to get this bomb down. They are in complete control of this game thus far.
And then came and beat Optic in 2 best of 7s, like 4-1, 4-1. Which is really hard to do. You know, like winning 2 best of 7s is really hard in Call of Duty, and we 4-1'd them in both series to win the tournament from losers.
Almost takes down his teammate. Gives away his position, is going to be able to pick up Scubby. No, Clayster will shut down Enable, and now it's all up to Formal here. Players on a hair trigger.
That event was crazy for me, especially because I haven't seen my dad in like 5-6 years. So like being able to see my dad and play in front of him and win in front of him was actually insane.
And ZooMaa continues to roll. I love the way they set up his play.
And then on top of that, you know, like Clay said, we were down 1-3. You know, we had to make a comeback that event, and all the FaZe guys were there, and you know, we had like a lot of friends and family there. So that event was just insane. And then that was the back-to-back event as well. So going back-to-back was cool. We almost went back-to-back-to-back, 3 events in a row, but one of our teammates got really sick, and I think that hurt us, that event. So going into season 3, you know, we wanted to show that we were the best team and that the last event wasn't a fluke, and that's what we did. And we came out, won season 3. But my favorite event by far was Gfinity London. Just everything, you know, with my dad and having all the FaZe guys there, and just the comeback and getting the back-to-back, that event was sick for sure. That was my favorite.
We had a really good run in AW and had some really crazy moments, and I think that's really what made our team so special and so fun. And you know, we're hoping to capture some of that on this New York team now, because I think those moments in AW and that resiliency and that kind of tenacity that we had in Advanced Warfare, it's something special, and it's something that, you know, you don't get with a lot of people on a lot of teams. So hopefully we can bring it into the subliner squad.
Actually, Bryce, it's gonna be Karma last on the line, and that is it. FaZe gonna win your summer 100K championship for Gfinity.